Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're studying for your CIMA E1 exam, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to tackle a really core concept, one that honestly a lot of students find a bit tricky. We're talking about the different operating levels of the finance function. We're going to break down exactly how finance takes raw data and turns it into these huge strategic decisions that really push a business forward. So let's dive right in.
So let me ask you a question. When you think of finance, what comes to mind? Is it that old stereotype, the accountant kind of hunched over a dusty old ledger just counting beans? Well, I'm here to tell you that in today's digital world, that couldn't be further from the truth. No way. The role has totally evolved, and really, getting a grip on this evolution is absolutely crucial for your E1 exam. So, let's take a look at what the modern finance function is really all about.
Okay, so here's the big shift. The modern finance function, it's moved from the back office right into the boardroom. It's not just a support function anymore, taking boxes and processing invoices. It's about being a proactive partner and actually creating value. Think about that. Finance is now the team that provides the insights that guide all the big decisions. We're talking everything from huge marketing campaigns to massive capital investments. This is the new reality, and it's what we're going to explore.
All right, so how do we actually make sense of all this? Well, to understand how finance creates all this value, we're going to use a really simple but super powerful framework. We're going to call it the finance pyramid. Think of it as our roadmap for success, showing how all the different parts of the finance team work together, with each level building right on top of the one before it.
And here it is. Take a look. At the very bottom, the foundation, we've got financial operations. Then, as we move up a level, we get to specialist finance. Above that, you'll see business partnering. And right at the very peak, we have strategic leadership. This simple picture, it shows the entire journey from raw data all the way up to game-changing decisions. You ready to climb it with me? Let's go. Okay, first stop. We're starting right at the base of our pyramid. This is the engine room. It's where all the value creation really begins. And let me be clear, without a rock-solid foundation of reliable data right here, the whole thing just crumbles. So what's happening down here in the engine room? Well, the financial operations team is dealing with all the day-to-day stuff. The transactional, historical data. They're recording, processing, and reporting everything from accounts payable to payroll. You can think of them as the guardians of the data, making sure every single thing is captured accurately. And this stuff, this is the essential raw material for every single piece of financial insight that comes later. And this quote right here really hits the nail on the head. You can't manage what you don't measure. This level is where all those measurements come from. Think about it. If the data is wrong at this stage, every single forecast, every budget, and every big strategic decision will be built on a lie. Its importance is, well, you just can't overstate it. Let's make this real. Think about a giant like Walmart. Every single day, their financial ops team processes millions, literally millions, of sales transactions. Now, this isn't just for old-school bookkeeping. All that data lets them spot inventory trends almost in real time. That means they can make sure the right products are in the right stores at the right time. That right there is the power of a solid operational foundation in action. Okay, so we've got our raw material, all that accurate data from the foundation. Great. But now what? Let's move up a level. How do we turn all that historical data into something really valuable, something forward-looking? Well, that's where the specialists come in. Now, listen up, because this slide shows a classic exam-style contrast. Seriously, pay close attention to this one. On one side, we've got FP&A, Financial Planning and Analysis. These guys are all about the future. They're asking what could happen. They build the budgets, the forecasts, the models. Then on the other side, you've got taxation. They're focused on past and present compliance. They're asking what are our legal obligations and making sure the company meets them. Getting this distinction down is absolutely vital. And another huge specialist area is project appraisal. So imagine the business is thinking about a big new investment, maybe building a new factory or launching a brand new product. These are the experts who help answer the question, is this a good idea? They've got tools in their toolkit like net present value or NPV and internal rate of return, IRR, to analyze the risks and potential returns. Basically, they help the business make smart, data-driven decisions instead of just guessing. All right, we're climbing higher. We've got accurate data. We've got sharp insights from our specialists. But what good is a brilliant insight if it just sits on a spreadsheet, gathering dust on someone's desk, right? We need to actually use it to influence the business, to drive better decisions. And that, my friends, is where the finance business partner comes in.
The business partner role is all about being a translator and an influencer. They are the bridge between the world of finance and all the other departments, like marketing or operations. Think about it. They take all this complex financial analysis, all the numbers and jargon, and turn it into clear, simple, actionable advice that a marketing manager can actually understand and use to do their job better. It's a critical role.
And this is a perfect example of business partnering in action. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. A company spends millions of dollars on a 30-second ad. How do they know if it was worth it? Well, the finance partner doesn't just sit back and wait for the numbers. No, they get in there and collaborate with the marketing team right from the start. They help to find all the costs and, crucially, agree on what success even looks like. Then, after the big game, they analyze the results together and present a really clear story about the return on investment. This helps leadership and marketing make a much smarter decision next year.
And here we are. We've reached the very summit of our pyramid, strategic leadership. This is the domain of the chief financial officer, the CFO, and the senior finance team. This is where finance has the absolute greatest impact on the long-term direction of the entire company. So up here at the top, the whole focus shifts. It's not so much about analyzing what the business did anymore. It's about shaping what the business is going to do. A finance leader is helping set that long-term strategy, they're securing the funding needed for growth, they're managing those crucial relationships with stakeholders and investors, and, of course, they're responsible for building and developing the world-class finance team that makes the rest of the pyramid work.
You know, one of the most important jobs for any strategic leader is building that team. And listen, a great finance team isn't just a room full of technical wizards who are brilliant with spreadsheets. It's about creating a balanced mix. You need that deep technical knowledge, for sure. But you also need the skills, communication, influence, persuasion, and you need broad commercial experience, that gut feel for how the business actually makes money.
And you know I wouldn't leave you without a great memory hook for your exam, right? So here it is. To build a winning finance function, a leader needs a balanced KSE team. That's K for knowledge, S for skills, and E for experience. Just remember, KSE, and I promise you'll have a fantastic framework for any exam question that comes up about what makes a successful finance team. K, S, E. Got it?
So let's just do a super quick recap of our climb. We started at the bottom, where financial operations provides the raw data. Then the specialists turn that data into powerful insight. The business partners take that insight and translate it into real-world action. And finally, strategic leadership uses all of it to steer the entire ship, setting the company's future direction. You see, each level is absolutely essential, and they all build on each other.
I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Your CIMA E1 syllabus is called Managing Finance in a Digital World for a reason. We know for a fact that AI and automation are getting better and better at doing the transactional work down at the base of our pyramid. So the big question for you as a future finance leader is this. As that base gets automated away, where are you going to build your value? What skills will make you indispensable? Really think about that. Thanks so much for joining me today.